We are here with Mrs. Pat Dunn for the first interview of the week for The Scroll. It's a new segment that we're doing, and we thought we would find the most interesting person we could interview for our first interview.
And then you thought of me after, okay.
Then we thought of you.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask you a couple questions. So if you could speak up so people watching can hear through the camera. We're going to post this on The Scroll in the interview of the week section after it's done. So, first question is, people refer to you as the golden couple of Country Day, you and Mr. Dunn. Some, who I won't name, have even gone so far as to call you Dunn and Dunner. You said you wasn't offensive.
No. When you're as smart as the two of us are, you never feel insulted by bad puns. So, no, that's okay. I want to know who's Dunner, though. That's...
I'm not going to get in the middle of that.
Got it, don't, please.
First question. How did you and Mr. Dunn meet?
That's a good question. We met at a boarding school in which we both were teaching. I don't really remember in any way our early meetings. Like for months, I don't really remember any of them. But I don't really remember my children before the ages of 15. So, it's another era. It was another state. It was Connecticut. That's a good question. I'll have to research that and I'll get back to you.
Second question. Did you marry Mr. Dunn because Mr. Black didn't have the same feelings for you as you did for him, or did you do it to keep Tim and Merle apart?
Well, had I known that this was going to be a relationship that would blossom in the future, I never would have gotten between them. But really, it was at that point, neither of them knew each other, so I didn't really feel like a home wrecker. But I think they've gotten over it.
Third question. In class, have you ever made a kid cry before?
You talking about today? There were two. There were two today. Now, usually it takes like 2 or 3 weeks into the year, and then the tears start flowing. I'm going to bring in an extra box of Kleenex tomorrow. I think by the end of this week there will be 6. So it's usually a little rough patch in September, but by October the tears generally dry up. I did have a student sob through an entire class years ago, but he was less distracting crying than he was when he didn't cry, so we actually got a lot done.
So this is a question courtesy of Kellen Pomeranz, actually. Do you have a favorite student you've ever taught, and do you have a least favorite student you've ever taught?
Well, funny you should bring up Kellen. I think she could qualify for both of those answers. I think it's interesting. I would say, I write down sometimes, in letters of recommendation, among my favorite of all time. So I try to be diplomatic about it. So there are, I'd say, to be honest, many favorites. Many favorites. Kellen among them.
Even more least favorites.
Yeah, and the least favorites, again, I just obliterate bad memories. So they're vague in my past. Murky.
Who was better behaved as a child, Bridget or Kevin?
It's a good question. I really couldn't distinguish them much apart when they were younger. So in fact, I just rotate photographs between their rooms, and they get to share pictures of either of them. I don't know who's who. So I would say it's a really good question. Again, I don't really remember much before they were 15. From 15 onward, my daughter was the better behaved of the two. That's for sure.
Now, is your sarcasm and...
Excuse me? Oh, no, go ahead.
Is your sarcasm and I guess what you have called in the past trenchant wit an
irony.
innate quality
The word
or
irony.
a learned quality?
Well, I would say it's interesting we're talking about nature and nurture today. If you were to look at my 10 siblings, you would have to argue it must be nature and inherent, but you'd also say that it must be growing up in New Jersey, okay, and competing for the scant attention of 2 parents who really would prefer drinking their evening martinis to really dealing with the issues of the children. So we used, I think, irony as our method of feeding ourselves, really. Figuratively, that is. Yeah.
If you wrote an autobiography, What would the title be?
This question you already gave me, and I meant to think about it. I meant to think about it, didn't I? What would you argue? What would be good? What do you think, Cody? Tough one, isn't it? How do you reduce a life like this to a mere title? That's a good question, and I meant to think about it.
I actually asked someone a question, and they gave me an answer.
Okay, what was it?
Sarcasm, a way of life.
Sarcasm. It's not your mother's sarcasm too. I think it's Seinfeld changed sarcasm, really did it, don't you think?
Yes, or what doesn't kill you makes you cry.
Exactly. Makes you stronger, Cody. That which makes you cry also makes you stronger. That's right. That's right.
All right. Now, in this aptly titled 300-page biography, I tear up page 189.
You got this.
By the way, this is courtesy of the UPenn essay.
Yes,
it's actually
exactly.
page 217, I think.
That's right. I think, and the one I gave you guys when you were sophomores too.
Oh yeah, that's
right.
right.
Yeah.
The one that I wrote more than you wanted me to write.
Yeah, you did. You squeezed, I think, the font really small and then expanded the margins. Yeah.
And my sister was explaining to me that usually students, expand the spaces
expand
like
the space,
yeah.
and I said that was an interesting twist on page manipulation, format manipulation.
What's one thing it says in there?
One thing, and then this page is 217 out of 300.
This is 189.
189 out of 300. Well, if today we're page 300, page 189 would probably be when I was like 12, really. So, because, well, it would not be when I was 12, would it, Cody? You did the math on that, didn't you?
It's not. That's why you're an English teacher.
189 out of 300. That would be about 2/3 of the way through. Oh, yes. Wow. I would have to be writing about, then I'd have to do some research about my children, of course, because I think they were quite young at the time, and as I said, I can't remember much about that. So 189 would probably be maybe the day that my son came back from a baseball game, and I was quite proud of him that day since he came home and having his mother brought